Hi, DJ again. Um, Getting ready to plant tomatoes. I'm not going to be planting a lot today because um, got a rainstorm building up here. Just want to take a look. Yeah, and I still have a lot of digging to do, and I'll show you how I'm doing that in the next video. I got a long ways to go. My rototiller doesn't look like it's getting fixed anytime real soon, so still doing this by hand. So, okay, got the holes dug. Um, I'll show you. They're, if I can't tell if I'm showing you what I want to show you. It's it's fairly deep because tomatoes, as they grow, these ones are Beef Master. That's a nice tomato. That's a very good eating tomato. Um, but they will grow roots on the stem. So the deeper you plant them, the more root you're going to have, which is going to give your plant a lot more nutrition and water and all the things that it needs to be a wonderful plant and grow lots of tomatoes. So we're going to get to here. Okay, we're going to take these roots, this leaves off, because I know it would do no good to bury them. Hmm. That's just because they haven't been getting watered much. Okay, now you can plant it deep. Get all the roots out that you can, because that's just going to grow more grass. And grass is not what we're trying to grow here. And I don't know if you noticed, there was a piece of wood in there. And the reason I left that is because it's partially burnt, so it's got charcoal on it, and that's gives your plant a lot of nutrition that it won't get any other way. Plus, it'll become waterlogged with good rain, and then it'll hold that moisture, and your plant will have water a lot longer than it would without it. So if I have some laying around close by when I'm planting, I'll throw one in there. It's pretty dead wood, so it's going to hold a lot of water. And I say, you'll be amazed when you're doing this way. I'm pulling roots out as I turn the dirt over and getting rid of them, and it's just amazing, amazing. You think you got a lot of roots, and then you dig the hole to plant something, and you pull up a whole bunch more roots, and you're like, where did they come from? I swear, they grow crazy. Let me see, I don't know if you can see this. Okay, so there's still a hole. There's a deep hole. It's planted deep. And I'm going to leave it like that for a couple of rains, which is going to be this week. The next couple of days are supposed to rain. So when I come back out here after it quits raining, then I will fill this up and make it almost level. I'm still going to leave a well. And I'll show you that when I get to that part. But you plant it, dig a deep hole, plant it, and then you give it some water. And you probably know it. It's just, this will settle the dirt around the roots. And this is the downside to having a garden back here. I can't have a garden hose because I don't have enough hose to get from the house to up here. But it would be hard to find a prettier place to have a garden. And I know you probably looking at the videos of other gardeners, and they got these neat, beautiful little gardens, and they've been doing that garden that for, or they're using chemicals for years. It takes years to get a garden that nice, and I don't think I have time to get this one that far. But we'll see. Okay, next one. And I'll show you this here. What I'm doing with the weeds and the roots that I'm pulling up is putting them on the side of my garden. That will act as a mulch. If I'm getting it on here thick enough, and it will kill the weeds, the grasses, and the weeds that are grown along the edges. And then when it's done that job, I'm gonna, cause there's a ditch that was left by the plow. When you plow, you're gonna end up with ditches here and there. Got a nice one over here, and they'll slowly get filled in, but that then it'll get pulled over into the ditch along the edge, and really keep the weeds from growing back into the garden. That's the plan anyway. Next one. Take the first leaves off. They usually fall off anyway. Just a pinch and you've got it. I'm going to be pulling roots out forever. It's just astounding. Because this spot, this end of the garden didn't really get a lot of activity last year. I had peppers and some squash. The squash did great. The squash was amazing. Something ate the peppers. Not all of them, but most of them. Which was uncool, and I've got the cure for that. And you're asking, what are you going to use to keep them out? Well, Irish Spring works really great. There are a lot of things, most importantly, deer do not like Irish Spring. They don't like the smell of it. They don't want to be around it. They won't come within 10 feet of it. And the reason I had a deer coming in my yard, and we named her Naoka because she was a regular. Spotted her on Christmas morning, and she wasn't afraid. She was pretty young. I'm guessing she was a year old. But it was pretty cool because I'd go out and I have an outdoor wood burner. I go out to take care of the furnace. She'd be standing there. Didn't run away. Paid attention when I talked to her. I would talk to her. And she seemed to enjoy it. She wouldn't, not that I tried. I didn't try to be friends with her. I didn't try to pet her. I didn't try to get close to her. I just let her be. And so I looked it up, and in this area, I'm not absolutely certain, but I'm pretty sure Seneca Indians lived in this area. And so I looked up the Seneca word for deer, which is Naoka, and I hope that's the right pronunciation. If it's not right, you know that, let me know. It was just kind of fun. It took the next year she had absolutely no interest in trusting me or anyone else. Hunting season, they'll do that to them. They learn not to trust pretty quickly, and that's a good thing because people are ignorant. Um, but yeah, she thought my azaleas were delicious. So I had read about Irish Spring, so I took a bar of Irish Spring and dropped it in the middle of my azalea bush, and she never touched it again. In fact, she didn't eat anything within 10 feet of that azalea bush. And then there's coyote pests. You don't want to get any of that on you. But cotton ball, a couple drops of coyote urine, and you throw it around the garden. And a lot of you won't have rabbits, you won't have chipmunks, you won't have probably not groundhogs either. I'm not sure about groundhogs. They're not a big. I mean, there's a lot of groundhogs, and I haven't had too many come into my garden yet. So far, so good. So, and what I also wanted to show you, as you'll see, this one has 2 tomatoes in it. Now, a lot of people are going to tell you, pull one of them, throw it out, cut it off, get rid of it. No, we're not going to do that. This is 2 tomato plants. And you can separate them. You can pull them apart. You get it out of the cell, and you gently tease them apart. And that's 2 tomatoes. I'm not throwing one of those away. We don't play that game. And there is a slug in there. I do not like slugs. We'll get him out of there. Because I believe they're asexual. They do not need a partner to breed. They don't refuse them either. Slugs. You know, they're disgusting. They are. But they're cool too. I don't want it in my garden. But I'm not going to kill it either. Not on purpose. I will do what I can to keep them away from my plants, though. Okay, those have been watered. They're in the ground. And that's as far as I can go until the next day I can come and dig these out. It's going to be too wet to come back here. The other downside to gardening back here. And I need to get this level. I'm going to pour this water in here. And I want it to benefit all of the plants, not just some of them. And I know you can't see what I'm doing. You don't want to look at me. You want to look at what I'm doing here. Tomatoes love water. The more water, the better. If you're a tomato. And, okay. Now the next day that I get ready to video, we're going to be going to the garbage dump because it's going to be too wet to drive here. And I need to let it dry out a bit before I try to drive back here. I know I have 4-wheel drive. It's just too muddy. Okay, so that's it for today. And I hope to see you. I hope you're enjoying my videos. And if you liked it, if you enjoyed what you saw, and you learned anything, great. Do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe would be really awesome. I wouldn't mind if you subscribed. And I think I want to leave this jug. Yeah, it's not much water. Okay. Anyway, that's it. I hope to see you next time.